Hey, we're back at the top again today on the road to Pokemon Sun and Moon when we're still in week 19, and today we once again look over a type and see what Generation 7 can add and improve to it. If you don't know what this series is about, it's where I look at each type for in-game and competitive use and see what the new generation can do to fix it. This includes possible small fixes such as a wider spread of a move, as well as going over possible new moves and new Pokemon concepts. Anyway, today we have my mascot's main type, the Water type. Unfortunately, the Water type is already so good and vast that I couldn't think of many fixes. I was able to find a few, however, so unlike its predecessors, I'll be giving you 5 ways Pokemon Sun and Moon can improve on the Water type. Okay, well, it's 6, but 1 is a small fix, but I didn't want to only have 4.5, so we get 5 plus 1. And that answer is Fish, by the way. Simple and quick is how we kick off this video, and what water move is simple and quick? The priority move, Aqua Jet. Aqua Jet is such a reliable move to work with. Only issue is that 14 fully evolved Pokemon get it, and only half of them are physical attackers. I know water is more of a special type, but when speed is the most important stat of them all, you think a priority move would be more well known around these parts. I mentioned this with Mach Punch and Vacuum Wave in the previous video, so honestly, this is nothing really new. The Water type has lots of Pokemon with high stats in each stat, individually of course. However, where the biggest drop-off occurs in these is the speed stat. There's no speedy water types that we know of outside of Keldeo and Starmie. The others are either swimming in Ubers or suck too much ditch water to escape the PU tier. This is why it's such a drop-off. You have 2 good Pokemon with great speed in the top tier, and then the rest are just pitiful. Not saying they are bad, it's just when you can't escape the lowest tier, you cannot hang with the big guns. It's been confirmed that we will most likely be going to a region based off of Hawaii. While that's cool and all, what I'm kinda hoping I don't see is tons of new water Pokemon. I don't mind seeing a few new water Pokemon in the Alola Regional Pokedex, but I don't want to start my journey through this new region underwater! If you combine every Pokemon's type we've gotten to date in every generation, water is on top with 126. Only the normal type reaches triple digits directly at 100. As you can tell, we already have a ton of water Pokemon. Lots of it. I just don't want to see GameFreak overdo it and add like 15 plus new water type Pokemon. That and the water this region will have. We'll be seeing too much water to Electric Boogaloo, which will probably also get a 7.8. Thanks, IGN. Or Obama. Whichever. Remember when I said there was a lot of water-type Pokemon? Well, I wasn't wrong. Every type combination has been done already. Except the only exception is Water Bug, which is only used by Surskit, who evolves into Masquerain. So if you want to count it, Water Bug is currently not used by a final evolution. And now we get to the fun part. Now, it would have started with the type combinations, but you know, everything's already been done, so it's a little bit lackluster. However, we're on to the possible moves we could see in Pokemon Sun and Moon. As always, we have a physical, special, and a status move. We'll start with Rapid Crash, where the user charges at the foe on a wave of crashing rapids, and collides into them with a Riptide-like force. The higher the user's speed stat, the more damage this attack does. This, of course, will come with the improvement of the speed stat for water types, as I mentioned prior in this video. Moving on to the special attack, we have Pressure Jet. The user unleashes a huge blast of water with immense pressure. The user's special attack stat drops 2 stages after use. Think of it as the water-type Draco Meteor. I don't think it'll be as common as said move, however. With the last move, we have the status move, Hydrate, which actually heals HP. Just what we needed, more water-type Pokemon with recovery. Not to worry, we'll make it more broken and give it a 5% chance to raise speed. But I was only kidding about being broken. It's only a modest amount, don't worry. It can really help in a pinch, you know. Here we go, the true main event. Let's look at these concepts for new water-type Pokemon. The first one is something I've always wanted, for years now. I even made the concept for one with a moveset and everything. Only issue was that was when I was in 10th grade, so it's kind of lost in the papers I have made over the years. Anyways, it's going to be a Hammerhead Shark. This design by Deoxys Daniel shows how menacing this could look. It could be Water Steel, and I could see this Pokemon becoming a tank with its defenses being super high while packing a huge amount of attack. The moves I could see it using would be Aqua Jet, Iron Head, Atomize, and Swords Dance. Hey, just because it's a Hammerhead Shark doesn't mean it can't use swords. Yeah, that joke was kind of bad. Our next Pokemon concept on this list will fill the last type combination that is yet to be used for a final evolution. Water Bug! This design by Hashiri shows off the potential for this concept well. Since based off a water bug, or a pond skater, it has to be fast, honestly. I could also see it being a mixed attacker, although having more power in its special attack. The moves I believe it would get would be Hydro Pump, Bug Buzz, Aqua Jet, and Quiver Dance, or Tail Glow. The speed on this thing would be enough to strike fear, but if you had Tail Glow, that should scare you half to death! The final Pokemon concept we have is an elegant, yet strong Pokemon, and boy does this design by Yellow Drake X bring out the elegance. Water Fairy is the typing I believe that fits this concept the best. The stat distribution would be similar to most Water-type Pokemon, average speed, and high special attack, while also being very tanky. I could see this Pokemon being able to use moves such as Hydro Pump, Moonblast, Water Spout, and Recover. Think of Milotic. Then you go to find a live wire to try to deal with it. Try not to electrocute yourself. But if you can't do that, you go to your nearest clothing store and stock up on Brown's pants, because you will not knock this thing out anytime soon. And that will wrap up the 5+1 possible ways that Pokemon Sun and Moon can improve the water type. And we continue to travel on the road to Pokemon Sun and Moon. So what changes and improvements to the water type do you think they should make in Pokemon Sun and Moon? What type should I cover next? Will I continue mentioning Pokemon Sun and Moon? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed, don't forget to drop a like down below. And if you want to catch the next type I cover on this long road, subscribe to be notified when that video drops. Until then, I will catch you back at the next stop on the road to Pokemon Sun and Moon. Shoot, I said it again. Later on, because that is how you do it. Blaziken with the Mega Comeback! Wait. I spoke too soon. Well, I need to switch out. Because Block is gonna get... What do you mean I can't be switched out?